Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser Podcast, episode 147. I'm your host, as always, Richard. Just blink for yes and say die for no. You'll.
That was a long one.
I got jumbled up.
I guess that makes me Jeff. Richard is down with the sickness. Loud.
As you can tell by my sexy voice, this is my sexy Phoebe voice from Friends.
Boo that reference.
Friends is amazing.
I hate Friends.
If you would.
It's such a not great show.
It's so great.
I'll fight you.
Dude, the leather pants episode, dare you not to laugh.
I won't.
It's so funny.
I won't laugh at Pivot. I won't laugh at...
Now, so some of the, like Pivot, Holiday Armadillo, some of those later ones, I don't find that funny. But leather pants and the sun tanning, the spray tan.
Yeah,
those are funny. Basically, if they involve Ross like being like shit on or whatever, they're hilarious.
Oh, you like when he gets bullied?
Oh, I mean, well, because I related the most to Ross. Like he always had the worst luck, and yeah, and he goes crazy in the show at one point, and they give him a leave from work.
He's an archaeologist or a professor or something of archaeology.
I mean, yeah, like he works at a museum early on, but then later on he's a professor.
Yeah, I mean, because I wouldn't like sit and watch episode after episode, but if there was one on or something, every once in a while I'd leave it on. And I remember my dad watching it, like growing up, and I'd watch episodes with him. But like, man, I don't know.
Well, I firmly believe there are Friends fans and there are Seinfeld fans, and those don't really blur. So
yeah, and that's us.
Yeah, and Corey too. Corey hates Friends.
Yeah, like
y'all can be wrong. It's okay.
No, but Seinfeld, yeah. He always
Kramer was on the View today.
Is he like, what's he doing? Is like going around and making amends with everybody?
14 years later, it was 18 years later.
I think that has something to do with Seinfeld coming back, to be honest.
Well, yeah, they're wanting to bring the show back.
But they can't make Seinfeld without him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, just let the guy act like he's fine. I mean, if you see him today, like, I mean, it's sad he has to act the way, like, it's been 18 years. I mean, I know he feels bad and stuff.
Yeah. And man, I loved his, whenever you saw him in something, he was always good. He was like great in UHF.
I mean, I hated Seinfeld, but man, UHF, he was my jam in UHF. So good. I loved it. It's time to drink out of the fire hose. So that movie was great. Yeah. So I apologize for my voice, but we are doing Black Sunday from 1977, not 1960. So there's another horror.
It's not the Bava.
Yeah, Bava. So the next three movies are a little different than what we normally do, but we're shaking things up. And this one is from 77. It's based on a novel by Mr. Thomas Harris. It's his first novel. You might know that name from somewhere, but we'll talk more later about that. We do have a few things to go over.
I got one. I'll kick us off.
Yeah, kick it off.
I was just gonna say we're talking Friends and TV series and stuff like that. Lately, I don't know why, but I decided I was going to start a bunch of random shows, and I'm trying to find one that sticks. What
did you watch?
So I was watching Game of Thrones. I started Game of Thrones again, trying to get through that. I've been watching Seinfeld again, just because it's the best. And then I started The Walking Dead today.
Oh, that's the one you missed.
Yeah, and you were
why?
I don't like the salt you were throwing at it, like without me saying anything.
The first two episodes of that, if you watch those first two episodes, I think it's brilliant.
It's Frank Darabont.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first season is.
Yeah, I
But I
know, but
mean, I just think the first. I don't like some of the change. I didn't read all of the comics, but I read the first like 15, and it just went so wildly off base. And I don't know. There's just parts of it that I just don't like. And
the
I
comic
did
book
watch the
or the
first
show?
season, and I did like it.
Are you saying the comic book or the show went way off base?
Well, I mean, the show went way off base because it's based on the comic. I mean,
Right. It seems like from what I read, I think I read like the first 16 trade paperbacks of Walking Dead. And that's when I was watching the show too. It seems like in the show they focus more on like weird drama nonsense that in the comic book they do, but not as heavily. And
yeah,
I think that's what brought a lot of viewers though to this show is the like people like person to person relationship in a horror setting and kind of seeing how you'd survive.
yeah. I mean, Shane made it way longer in the show.
Yeah,
Well, and the
that's
most
true.
popular Walking Dead character isn't even in the comic.
Right. Isn't there like two of them that aren't in the comic?
Well, I mean, specifically
Daryl.
Norman Reedus.
Daryl.
Um, so yeah, specifically him. I don't know of another one, but I'm sure there is one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was one other, but I don't remember.
Um, yeah, I mean that's cool. I did watch the second season 10 years ago or whatever, just because people were like, "You got to watch the second season; it's good." And
Is that the farm?
yeah,
Yeah. So I watched the first, I think it was 7 or 8 seasons. Like right when Negan was coming around, I stopped.
yeah,
And I think I watched that first episode and I was like, that's enough. And then I kind of went back and watched, I think that was season 8 where that happens. I went back and watched a few episodes at one point, but I was like, I don't remember anything that's going on in this universe at this point, and I need to watch it again.
Who was first? Was it Negan or the governor?
Governor
Neither.
was first.
Oh, governor was first. Okay.
Yeah. And because I think that's where I kind of stopped in the comic book was when Negan came around too. I don't know. It's just a weird coincidence, I suppose.
Yeah. We're not really watching anything, especially horror. There was an Apple TV show we started
Oh,
called Slow Horses, I think.
uh-huh. I don't
Uh,
know. One.
it's kind of like it's fun if you like that like Born Supremacy, Born Ultimatum, and all that.
And, oh
I
yeah.
mean, it's sort of like that. So it takes place in the UK, and it's about the MI5, but it's about
Oh.
people that have fucked up in the MI5, and
Mm-hmm.
they made them their own team. So it's like a team of fuck ups, but
On
they're
Apple now. What's it called?
slow horses.
There it is. All right. I
And
resubbed to Apple TV because I wanted to
Apple
watch
TV's got some good stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Ted Lasso, buddy.
I still haven't given that one a shot.
You just got to burn through it,
I
man. It's
refuse.
over.
I refuse to. I don't know why.
I think you'd like it, man. There's a few characters in there that are really funny. Um, it's a good show, and this doesn't take long.
All right. Well, because I was watching that physical show again. I don't know why that aerobics
Oh
comedy
yeah,
with Rose. What's her name?
Rose
Burns?
McGowan.
No, Rose Burns.
Oh,
Isn't it?
Rose Burns.
I
Oh,
think.
from Glow.
Is she in that?
I
What's her
don't fucking
name?
know.
Is it Rose? She was in the Insidious movies.
Okay. Well, anyway.
That and I wanted to watch. Was it that Ben Franklin show? That
I got nothing.
Rose Byrne is the person I was saying. But yeah, and Ando man, just go ahead. It's enough.
Something interesting happened today. I went to my Vudu app, and it's no longer there.
Yeah,
It changed.
it's Fandango now, right?
It's Fandango at home now, but now they've been tweaking that a little bit. Like they've been in the so at the very top they would have a Fandango. At the very top it would say Voodoo,
With
and then it
Fandango.
would say Fandango at home movies, and it would be like whatever the recent movies, Fall Guy, Civil War, whatever. And but now the app is totally different. It's got a new logo, Fandango at home. Across the top it says Fandango at home. and it just says premium new releases where Fandango at Home was.
Yeah. Can you still
So
access all your stuff?
yeah, everything's there, thank God. Because I
Oh,
mean, I have over 150 movies.
right. I have like 400 on Vudu.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, and I knew they were doing this thing, that merge or whatever, like you're saying, but
I mean, it's happened over the past year.
right, and that was working, but I for some reason on the app it won't let you see prices, so you have to like look on
It
the.
does now, I
Oh,
think.
it does.
So
Thank
I think
God.
it does now. I think
Let me see.
so. It says Fandango at Home. I can click right here. No, it still doesn't. I lied.
See, and so I went to log in. It's like, here, log in. You have a Fandango account. I was
Yeah,
doing it, and it was like, no, that's you're doing it wrong. But the app seemed to work, so thank goodness.
yeah, I got you. So that's interesting. I mean, I don't have a, it's cool. I mean, I think it makes sense for Fandango to buy that up. You know,
Fandango's been around for a while now.
they've been around forever, and I use them. I mean, I used to use them a lot when I went to the theater.
See, and I always just walk to the window in Pueblo, our old one theater.
We don't, the one we don't have windows anymore.
It's all
The
prepaid
Well,
kiosks.
the one in Maryville is like at the concession stand. You just go to the concession stand and buy your ticket.
Hmm.
And then the one in Knoxville, they've got 8 screens, 4 on one side, 4 on the other, and you digitally buy it.
Oh,
And there you have to pick your seat.
yeah, yeah. You have to do that now when you go to the window.
No, we don't have to pick our seat at the movie at the Maryville one. So, the other thing to talk about is a new trailer dropped today. I never watched the teaser trailer for it, but the official one dropped. It's Alien Romulus from director of Evil Dead and Don't Breathe. His name is.
PD Alvarez.
And what'd you think?
I don't know. I'm weird with trailers. I liked it. It didn't seem like it was giving anything important away. It was mostly just people kind of introducing people and showing you that here's a few little nods to the original.
Well, and I can't imagine the story is that crazy, right? Like it's
No.
they're just trying to dig this Alien franchise out of the grave to try to make it something and people be excited about it.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, Predator did it with Prey,
yeah,
so there is hope. But I mean, a lot of people ragged on Alien. What was the last one?
Covenant
Yeah, and I
and
thought it
the
was
other one,
great. Well,
as
really, it starts with Prometheus, right?
Prometheus. Yeah,
Like Prometheus ruined Aliens because a lot of people hated that movie, which I love it.
I liked it.
I like it a lot, and um, so from there, because Alien Covenant was going to be Prometheus 2,
Yeah, but then he was
but
like, no.
Prometheus 2 had such bad taste in people's mouths that they just made it Alien Covenant.
Yeah, yeah. And Ridley Scott was like, no, I need this. I wish we would have gotten the guy that did Chappie and
Oh
District
yeah,
9 was supposed to do it
yeah,
in
yeah,
an
yeah.
alien movie.
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Whatever, Blomkamp.
I mean, at the time when he was putting that stuff out, like it was so unique and it looked so good.
I mean, I love District 9. Chappie was okay.
What's the other one?
It's the Matt Damon one. Matt Damon. The one where he's living. The one where he's living on. It's like a poor.
Elysium or something?
Yeah, Elysium. Yeah. So, yeah, he would have been interesting to do it. He was tied to it for a long time.
Yeah. Man, Matt Damon. I like that dude's movies.
He's great.
Man, the Bourne movies are some of my favorite movies. They're just so good. And he had a run there for a while where he was in so many good things.
Dude, you got to go down to Universal in Orlando and do the Bourne thing down there.
Oh, they got a Bourne thing?
Yeah, it's damn it, I can't. It's a stunt show basically.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it. Well, we went to Universal like 5 times over the course of a year. We got passes.
Yeah, damn.
And So we burned it out, and it's in the old theater that was the Terminator 2 stunt
I don't
show.
think I did that because when I went, I was probably 4 or 5. I went with my mom and grandma, and I remember like walking in, and they had the Jurassic Park car like right there.
Oh,
That was pretty
yeah.
cool. But I don't remember
I
seeing like
saw the I
E.T.
saw the Terminator 2. Oh, ET's still there. It's amazing.
I didn't go nowhere.
Um, they took it out of California, but they just redid it down in Orlando.
Nice.
Um, it's a stupid ride, but I love it. Cat in the Hat is excellent too.
Really?
I mean, if you're stoned, I imagine it's even better, or tripping on something. But no, the Bourne stunt show, it's great. I mean, it's awesome. The
Wow.
technology is crazy. Like, there's a screen that there's live actors, but there's also a screen that they interact with, and yeah, it's crazy. I love it. There were times when Amy was at the hotel and she was taking a nap, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna go and watch the Bourne thing.
Yeah.
And I sat in the front row, right in the middle one time, and it was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, but it's fun.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Wasn't there
It's a lot.
something a while back? It was like a fake like earthquake like little thing. Was that at Universal for a movie?
I mean, I for a movie. Well, so the Beverly Hills Cop 3 has had. They were a real amusement park in California, and they had an earthquake and alien invasion that Axel Foley fought through.
No, it wasn't that.
Um, but I mean, they've had tons of things over the years. I mean, they had Fear Factor at one point. I saw.
How many times have you gone to Universal? Would you say?
Well, I mean, probably. Well, if you include California, probably 7, 8 times.
It's a good amount.
Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot. Um, you know who else likes Universal?
Who was it? Jason?
Jason down at the dungeon, and I'm not even kidding. When he's not watching the Night of the Nerdy Laser show on YouTube, he's watching roller coaster YouTube videos.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
Just videos of roller
He
coasters.
loves it. Well, and like theme parks and people going to theme parks, and he knows like all the makers of the roller coasters, and yeah, he knows all sorts of crap. He's been a lot because him and his wife went for years until they had their child. They went every Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh wow. My
I
cousin
think
was trying to get me to go to that with them in California this year, and I was like,
me and
"Wow,
me and Amy went the week before it opened.
what lucky
So like
time!"
banners are everywhere, and like they had stuff they were prepping for it out in the park. Look cool.
And then you're like, "Bye."
Yeah,
See ya.
it's like I'm gonna jump in that Chucky box, take my picture.
Yeah. Well, Jason has all that stuff, all the good things, and you guys should go visit him.
Yeah, he's in Maryville, Tennessee, right here at the roundabout on East Broadway Avenue. You can find Southland Books there, and then just drive around the back of the building. Jason is chained up down there selling all sorts of things, including HD DVDs. Yes, that's right, folks. You can get
Yeah.
your own HD DVD collection going by going down to Jason down at the dungeon, and he's also got Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs, VHS, laser discs, vinyl records, old school vinyl records, new school vinyl records.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say anime porn, but he doesn't have that anymore.
No, that's gone. We haven't plugged that in a while.
Yeah. But he has a ton of stuff, including video games, everything. If you want to see what he's got, just go over to Instagram and type in Southland_Dungeon. You can see all the stuff he's got and then make a trip over, or you can just message him if you live out of the area, like Jeff, and y'all can make a deal, and he will ship it right to your doorstep. So we appreciate Jason down at the dungeon, and hopefully I didn't make him sick by going in there today. But
Yeah, well,
it's the cost of running a public place. Anyway, so yeah, Black Sunday's a pretty long movie.
Yeah,
Turns out,
yeah, yeah. And like we said weeks back, neither of us had seen this, right?
yeah, it's an hour and 43 minutes.
What?
143
Where
minutes.
did you
Sorry,
watch it? Oh, okay,
143
okay.
minutes.
I was like,
Sorry,
no, no.
sorry, I'm sick and I made a mistake.
Yeah, how dare you?
I mean, I did almost fast forward a part of it, but I didn't.
There's a few parts you could do that.
I mean, so Thomas Harris, what do we best know him as the author of?
Oh boy, you tell me.
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah, okay.
So this was his first novel, and they made it into a movie. And the movie's weird because I mean, it's taking like real life stuff and just blending it into like the movies, which I mean, they do now in a way, but not like this. Like Black September is the terrorist group that is in this movie. And that was actually a terrorist group.
Oh really?
Um, yeah, they were the ones behind Munich, the
Oh
Olympics,
okay.
and that happened in '72, I think.
Hmm.
And so yeah,
Didn't they
um,
make that a movie?
yeah,
Was it good?
and Eric Bana was in it. Yeah, I remember liking it. I saw it one time.
Hmm.
Eric Bana did it, I think, after the Hulk.
Hmm.
He's so good, and that movie kind of ruined his career, unfortunately.
Hulk?
Kind of, right?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
then
he
what? They
did
went to
stuff.
Edward Norton after, right? To that for that other one,
Yeah,
and then now they have Ruffalo.
yeah. But I
Hmm.
mean, Bana was part of the Ang Lee version.
Yeah.
Um, so the basic premise of this is the terrorist group is going to fly the Goodyear blimp into the Orange Bowl Stadium in Miami during the Super Bowl and blow it, and not blow it up, but apparently they had plastic explosives, and it would shoot out like shards in every direction. So like mass casualty, I guess.
Yeah. What a weird concept and idea for a thing.
It does seem like I would be interested in what the book reads. I mean, the movie for the first hour and a half, it's a little bit of a slog. There are some interesting things that happen, but really, the last hour and 15 minutes is probably the best, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. But I mean, it kind of pulled me in, honestly.
Oh, I mean, I think they don't make movies like this now, right? Like
Mm-mm.
typically, they don't give you an hour and a half of setup and then ramp you into this great finale. They want action all the time, or whatever. But the movie really is building onto this,
Yeah.
onto the end. And I think, like Jeff said, I mean, I was kind of on the edge of my seat towards the end. Like it's really suspenseful. It's really good. A lot of people get shot in this movie.
So many people.
I mean, there are a lot of people.
It feels like a
Um,
made for TV movie at times, but then there's a
at
lot of gore
times,
and blood.
yeah. Um, who's in this movie that is in one of our favorite
It's
movies of all time,
Quint.
Jeff?
It's
Huh?
Quint. Quint is in this
Yeah.
movie.
So from well, no, we have another one because you're talking about
Really?
Robert Shaw, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Shaw.
So Robert Shaw from Jaws, Quint.
Yeah.
But there's another one,
Bruce Dern?
The Burbs, baby.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
So
I always
I know we love that movie, but yeah, I forgot Robert Shaw. I mean, I knew he was in Jaws, but he's so different in this movie that it doesn't really. I mean, Bruce Dern is kind of the same character that he is in The Burbs
it's
in a
crazy.
way. Crazy, yeah.
No.
Um, but Robert Shaw was great. But yeah, we don't go scene by scene or spoil it or anything. I do want to mention something about the end here. First off, because I'm confused.
Yeah,
So,
go
I
ahead.
mean, the end, I mean, it involves the Goodyear blimp, which obviously they got massive promotion in this movie. Not only the blimp, but there's a sign that reads out
Yeah.
over the span of like 60 seconds
Yeah.
of like what Goodyear does and how good they are. It's crazy. They do use the NFL.
Yeah.
Steelers versus the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And Bradshaw is the quarterback.
Yeah. And I heard him say the coach, Tom Landry.
Yeah, Tom Landry.
And I thought about King of the Hill. I was like, yeah, Tom Landry, middle school. Go, Bobby. Get him. Get him, Bobby.
And the announcers were real too. And they used real play footage for the movie. The NFL let them do that and never let them do it again.
Is that why we don't get that in Dark Knight?
Or the Sixth Sense, or not the Sixth Sense, the Sixth Day.
Yeah.
Or Last Boy Scout.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I mean, back then I could see why.
The Sixth Day is my favorite insert of football because it was the XFL before, and it actually took place before the XFL happened.
That's funny.
Yeah. But there's a Goodyear blimp and a helicopter chase, basically. Did they not blow up a helicopter?
Yeah, she just shoots it like out of the sky.
But wasn't that the one that Robert Shaw was in? I was so confused.
Well, no, so there was some dialogue where he's like, what's going to be in the air? And there's like one police helicopter. But, I mean, I guess that other guy because that was bringing in like some construction materials, the one he takes. So it wasn't the police one. They tried to like say nothing be in the air, but then they shoehorn in like this extra helicopter.
It's so weird. And the explosions are so bad.
Yeah, those don't look good. There was like a head cut off that looks kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And the finale is great. We won't go into the actual finale, but there's some real terrors and some people getting killed, and I mean there's some good stuff. Like, I mean, at one point see, great. At one point I was like, how the fuck are they gonna end this?
Yeah, and the ending kind of drags slightly. I wouldn't say it drags to the point where it ruins it or anything, but it does.
I think by the time you're like, fuck, I'm over this, it's like, oh shit, wait, there's a chase on a beach.
Yeah, that's the one scene I wanted to talk about.
The chase on the beach is the best.
It starts out, let's talk this scene, and it's not spoilers really.
No,
because it's something that happens. But he walks in, and the guy at the front desk like does a quick glance over to let him know it was a Fed or whatever. Then that guy just turns and he's like, shoots him, takes a hostage, and he shoots the hostage's like boyfriend, like, in the shoulder.
Takes her.
Yeah.
And then they run on foot for like 10 minutes. And they go onto the beach, and he's like he would like turn around and shoot at the guy, and the guy would just leap and like land in garbage or something and like try to hide.
Yeah, is a little long. And there were a few other parts like that where you're like, you could probably have trimmed this, but it did remind me of like a made for Netflix movie too. Like they kind of just, they're huge
put
movies
everything
now.
In there.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's for sure a 70s movie. Apparently I read in an interview that Bruce Dern kind of feels bad for doing the movie because he thinks that it like gave terrorists an idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know, but when you're touching on like real subjects and like a disaster like that, it could feel weird. I mean, because they do make it seem real, like they're using real things, real, I mean, they use a real terrorist organization, which I mean, I understand. I guess they kind of
or the world's kind of situation.
Yeah. I mean, I guess do they in Hot Shots, maybe part 2, do they use Sodom and stuff, I guess, in that movie.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a comedy, so I mean, this one is for sure a thriller, suspense, drama. But yeah, I actually really like it.
Yeah, I did too. I was surprised. I was like, I don't know, Richard's telling me stuff, and I was like, based on what he's saying, I'm not gonna like it. And like I said, as soon as I put it on, I was just kind of watching it. Like I don't usually I get up, pause stuff, walk around, do something, and this one I just kind of got into it from the start, and I was like, oh, I better see what happens here. Kind of interesting.
Um, the Blu-ray is available at on Arrow.
Oh yeah, I meant
Um,
to grab my copy.
uh, and then inside you get a little Black Sunday booklet.
Yeah,
Um, it says Before Lecter, so it's about Thomas Harris, John Frankenheimer, the director, and Black Sunday. So I didn't get a chance to look through it, but it's cool.
yeah, I meant to read that.
It does have a pretty cool alternative thing that I'm just going to flip over now because it's different than the slip, and I always like when the covers are different than the slip.
Of
Don't
course,
you?
it don't matter to me really. So
Oh, you're wrong. So then the other slip is just an old school black and white.
oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and then the slip is just nice and colorful.
Yeah, that's what pulled me in the slip.
I found it at or maybe I saw it online when I was doing an order for Orbit DVD. Um, I think I saw it on there, and I was like, huh. I mean, I thought it would be more actiony, I guess, but it's okay. I mean, it's fine the way it is.
Yeah, and I think at the time of this recording, Orbit was had a sale on some Arrow stuff.
Also, I don't know what this is.
Oh, it's their streaming site.
Is it still available?
Yeah, I
Do
was
they
thinking
still
about
have
trying it myself because there's like 3 movies I don't want to buy from Arrow. Um, so I wanted to. Most of their stuff streams on there that they put out, which is cool. They have a really good library.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's cool. Um, but yeah, what do you think? You think people should watch this one?
Yeah, for sure, like without a doubt.
Yeah, I think you should, but if you don't like a good drama too, I don't think you'll do good with it. I think the first half will bore you to death.
I think if
But if
you
you
like
hang in there,
Prophecy, um, the bear movie,
yeah.
it was kind of
It's
like
sort of like that, but I mean, I just think Prophecy's a perfect fucking movie, man. I love that
it's
movie.
pretty good.
I mean, it's not a great name. I wish it had a different name because
Yeah,
then I always think of what Christopher Walken.
yeah,
Which really, if we got Christopher Walken in a remake of The Prophecy with the bear, I'm game.
yeah.
Um, the music gets really good towards the end.
On this or Prophecy?
Probably on Prophecy too, but on this one specifically. And I'm not
Yeah,
sure who is the girl Martha Keller.
I think so.
She's really good in this movie.
Yeah, I mean
I
the whole
really liked
cast
her.
was really good.
Yeah, I really liked them. Although sometimes when movies are done in the 70s, I have a hard time distinguishing everybody
Mhm.
because they all sort of blend in because
Yeah,
they're all wearing like the same suit and they all have a mustache and they all have gray hair. Like, how old is Robert Shaw supposed to be in this movie? Like 40? I
yeah.
mean, but
Well,
like,
no,
right?
he's
Like,
gonna be playing like a late 40 or 50 because he said he served. He's been killing for like 35 years. So
okay, but so even at 50, that's not what 50 years old looks like now.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
I mean,
Everybody
Tom
just looks
Cruise
so
is like
aged.
60, right?
Well, yeah, Tom Cruise gets a lot of work too, but
A
he makes
lot
good
of good
movies.
work.
Makes good work, but he gets work done.
um, so yeah, give this one a shot. This is the beginning of our trilogy of disaster kind of epic podcast event we're trying out. Hopefully, do some more like this. It's kind of fun, and we're available on Spotify and Libsyn and Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
And you can also check us out on YouTube. Now, if they want to support us, what could they do on all those platforms, Jeff?
Just go ahead and subscribe to any of them. And if you give us a little rating, that always helps us as well. It's been a while since we've got that, but just lets us know you're there, lets us know you're listening, and it's free to you guys.
Absolutely. You can also email us at nightofthenerdylaser@gmail.com. You can let us know about this movie, what you thought of it. You can tell us a movie you want us to review, and we'll look into it. Or maybe a little the smaller subjects we do at the beginning. Maybe you could do that.
Yeah.
Recommend something for us to talk about briefly. So anything you can do to support the show, we would appreciate it. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Night of the Nerdy Laser, and yeah, be watching that YouTube channel. Every podcast is uploaded there, typically at the same time. So Wednesdays at 6 is the goal, and it looks like we'll be hitting that for a little bit. Unless I can't watch a movie or something. But next week is Roller Coaster, and I've
Yeah.
already seen that, so I can just breeze
You're
through
ahead
it
of
a
the
little bit.
curve.
Yeah, I'll just rewatch some things. And Roller Coaster, it is different than this movie, but it's kind of similar. Roller Coaster doesn't drag as much for me. There's much more suspense.
Is it like a 14-hour movie too, or what?
They are probably movies longer than they should be.
Oh boy.
But these movies were made for adults. Like they were made in the movies. This was supposed to be Paramount's blockbuster of 1977. But what movie came out in 1977 that is considered the blockbuster?
Oh, I don't know.
Star Wars.
Um,
So it got buried kind of
well,
from something you wouldn't expect. And so, this movie was a big deal, like to be made and like for adults and stuff. But I didn't look at numbers or anything, but I mean, it's not in the zeitgeist. Like people aren't like, have you seen Black Sunday? Like, maybe if they do say that, they're talking about the Baba one.
oh, I'm sure.
Well, because Matt left a comment, our old buddy Matt left a comment on one of our pages, and he said that's a crazy ass movie. And I imagine he's talking about the 60s one.
Probably.
This movie's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Considering we've watched like Tammy and the T-Rex and shit.
Yeah.
So a blimp going to the NFL, not that far-fetched. They also, some trivia that I thought was funny or just convenient. Some of the cameras in the audience that had a CBS logo on it was actually just a movie camera.
Oh, really?
And they just slapped a CBS logo on it to hide it.
That's funny.
So if you like the 70s and if you like 70s police cars, more importantly, because there's a sweet one in this.
You got some police
give this one a shot. And until next time, what should they do, Jeffrey?
They should keep it bloody.
Because somebody has to chase each other on the beach. They should have been wearing president masks.